Hey y'all, it's your girl El Rochelle here with Hardwood Diva's Week 2 NFL picks. First week for the NFL was awesome. I don't know if you caught all the games. I did. But they were all pretty darn good. I was very excited to see so much offense. I'm an offensive girl. Defense is cool, but I love me some offense. And I don't see much changing for the rest of this season. So first up, tonight's Thursday game, we're going to have the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. Now, the Jets actually pulled out a win that no one expected. Patriots actually came really close to losing to the Bills. We saw what happens when the Patriots lose quite a few of their offensive weapons. Gronk's out, Hernandez, we all know that situation. Now to hear that Danny Amendola is hurt also, which is kind of hard for me on my fantasy team. But this is going to be very interesting. I'm not going to say that the Jets are great. I barely even want to say that the Jets are good. But the Patriots are actually kind of in the middle themselves. This should be a really good game. It is at home for the Patriots, so I'm going to have to go with the Patriots for this one. Now, let's get into this wonderful slate of games Sunday. Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got, first up, the Rams versus the Falcons. I'm going with the Falcons on this one. Of course, I picked them to lose to the Saints last week, and just like I thought, they lost at the Saints home. But I do think this is going to be a good one for them, and I think they will easily win against the Rams. Browns versus the Ravens. The Ravens looked horrible in the first game against the Broncos. Peyton Manning tore them up. But I think at home against the Browns, they should be able to pull this one out. So we're going to go with the Ravens. Panthers versus the Bills. This one's interesting. Like I said, the Bills almost pulled out a win. Panthers, like I thought, actually gave a good game against the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Bills. Honestly, this one could go either way in my opinion. Vikings versus the Bears. The Bears did pretty good. They beat the Bengals, but I do see the Vikings offense, their weapons, even though Christian Ponder's not the greatest of quarterbacks. It's hard to argue when you have Adrian Peterson on your team. Not sure if the Bears will be able to fight up against such a good running game. I'm going to pick the Vikings for this one. Redskins versus the Packers. I will pick the Packers. Redskins, first half of that game looked terrible. Second half looked great. Of course, as everyone thought, that first game was kind of a preseason game in a sense for RG3. So it was to be expected he was going to be a little slow coming out the gate. I don't see them doing bad like they did in the first half against anyone else this year, but I don't see them beating the Packers. Titans versus the Texans. Texans looked awesome at the end of the game versus the San Diego Chargers. They really looked kind of crappy in the beginning, but that Matt Schaub to Andre Johnson pair, that's awesome. And the fact that they have two really good running backs, that's awesome. So I'm going to have to go with the Texans at home. Dolphins versus the Colts, going with the Colts. Dolphins actually did pretty good, pulled out a win. But I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. They looked really, really good to me this week. Cowboys versus the Chiefs. Chiefs looked pretty good. It's away from Cowboy Stadium. Cowboys did really good last week, even though they almost snatched a defeat from the jaws of victory. I will go with the Cowboys for this one. They are my boys. I'm going with them. They looked pretty good on offense. Romo, let's all pray he's not hurt or too hurt, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Chargers versus the Eagles. Eagles. If you did not see that, they were awesome, especially in the first half. And to hear Chip Kelly say, we didn't go as fast and get as many plays off as we wanted to. Yeah, they're going to be a problem for some folks. Maybe eventually someone will figure it out, but I don't know who you're going to get that's going to be fast enough to compete against Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, and LaShawn McCoy, who got me 27 fantasy points. Yes, I don't think that's happening, and I'm sorry, but Chargers, you ain't going to be the ones, especially not in Philadelphia. Okay, so for the afternoon games, we've got the Lions versus the Cardinals. I am gonna go with the Lions because they looked pretty good. Sue does what Sue does, but Stafford, Johnson, and Reggie Bush is a really, really good offensive combination. I like the Cardinals, but and I like their defense, but I do like the Lions a little better, but don't be surprised if the Cardinals find a way to win that one. Saints versus the Buccaneers. Saints. The Bucs lost to the Jets, so I'm going with the Saints. Broncos versus the Giants. Broncos. They were amazing. So, yeah. Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning. Yeah, they're my AFC pick to go to the Super Bowl. Those guys are killing. Amazing. I'm picking them. I haven't decided who's going to the Super Bowl from the NFC, but definitely AFC. I'm picking the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning was on a tear and looked really pissed that he couldn't break the NFL record of 7 touchdowns. He wanted 8. He really wanted 8. And he could have got it. Oh, it was crazy. Peyton, yeah, dog. Yeah. All right, Jags versus the Raiders. Raiders almost pulled out a win versus the Colts, and the Jags looked horrendous. They got a safety, and that was it. 2 points. They only got 2 points last week. I will not. I refuse to pick them for any games. I wouldn't doubt if they went 0-16, to be honest with you. But I don't think they'll be the Raiders, and that is sad. So, for our Sunday, night game, we've got the 49ers versus the Seahawks. Now, this is always fun because these are those two NFC West teams that are killing right now. So, let's see. Seahawks did almost lose to the Panthers, but, I mean, let's be real. I expected that. Kind of going to the East Coast is a little difficult. 49ers did what I expected the 49ers to do, and Colin Kaepernick did what many people didn't expect to do. He showed them that, oh, you think all I can do is run? Oh, I got an arm and I'm going to barely run and still smash on y'all. And he did. He did. Anquan Bolden and him ruined my fantasy game. They ruined it. It was really sad. But, yeah. I'm really thinking that they're going to be able to pull this one off in Seattle. They're going to be pretty good. Monday night game, Steelers versus the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals because I don't see anything out of the Steelers. It's really sad to see, and especially with Marquise Pouncey, their center, being hurt. He's the best person on their offense behind Ben. And even behind Ben is questionable. But, yeah, he's out. I don't know how many games they'll win. It's really sad. Kind of sucks, but they're not beating the Bengals. So there you go, guys. Those are my picks for this week. Let me know what you think. Starting this week, I'm going to be giving you some fantasy sleepers, some people that I think that if you've got fantasy going on, you should probably pick up, take a look at, keep an eye on, watch for the next week. So let me know what you think about my picks today. And then we'll talk about fantasy in a couple of days. Deuces!